One of them will be the first woman to rule Spain in more than 150 years. One of them will be king of the United Kingdom, and one of them, born only steps from the throne, may never have to do any of it. Their childhoods could not be more different. By the age of 18, Leonor of Spain had already read the Constitution on live television, given speeches in 4 languages, sworn an oath before Parliament, and been sent to the army, the navy and the air force. She has never been seen to stumble, cry, or lose her composure in public. Not once. George and Charlotte have been raised the opposite way. Their parents made a deal with the press. No cameras at school, no cameras on holiday, no cameras at all unless the family agrees. The world sees them a handful of times a year. And yet, in those few moments, the world has watched a 7-year-old boy in a suit and tie put his head in his hands as England lost a football final, and a 7-year-old girl walk behind her great-grandmother's coffin and quietly tell her brother, "You need to bow. Spain is training a queen in public. Britain is hiding a king in plain sight. Which one is right?" And what have the cameras actually caught when these 3 children step out under the lights? Every date, every dress, every uniform, every whispered instruction on a palace balcony has been recorded and argued over. This is that record. Leonor de Borbón y Ortiz was born on the 31st of October 2005 in Madrid. She is the elder daughter of King Felipe VI and Queen Letizia. When she was born, her grandfather Juan Carlos I was still on the throne, and her father was Prince of Asturias. On the 19th of June 2014, Juan Carlos abdicated and Felipe became king. On that day, at the age of 8, Leonor became Princess of Asturias, the traditional title of the heir to the Spanish crown. She also holds the titles of Princess of Girona and Princess of Viana, Duchess of Montblanc, Countess of Cervera, and Lady of Balaguer. Each of these names is a piece of Spain's older kingdoms, Castile, Aragon, and Navarre. Her younger sister, the Infanta Sofia, was born on the 29th of April 2007. Prince George of Wales was born on the 22nd of July 2013 at St. Mary's Hospital in London. He is the eldest child of Prince William and Catherine, who are now the Prince and Princess of Wales. Princess Charlotte was born on the 2nd of May 2015. In the same hospital, their younger brother Prince Louis was born on the 23rd of April 2018. When they were born, their great-grandmother Elizabeth II was queen. When she died on the 8th of September 2022, their grandfather became King Charles III, and their father became heir apparent. George moved to second in line to the throne. Charlotte moved to third. There is one important legal difference between the Spanish and British children. In the United Kingdom, the Succession to the Crown Act of 2013 removed the old rule that placed sons ahead of daughters. Charlotte was the first British princess who could not be pushed down the line by a younger brother. When Louis was born, she stayed ahead of him. In Spain, the Constitution of 1978 still gives preference to male heirs over female heirs in the same generation. Leonor is heir only because she has no brother. Had a boy been born to Felipe and Letizia, he would have taken her place. Spanish politicians have often spoken about changing this rule, but as of the time of writing, it has not been changed. This single fact shapes much of how Spanish people talk about their princess. The duties of the Spanish heir are written into the Constitution. Article 57 names the Prince or Princess of Asturias as the heir. Article 61 says that when the heir comes of age, they must take an oath before the Cortes Generales, the 2 houses of the Spanish Parliament. The oath promises to carry out their functions faithfully, to guard the Constitution and the laws, to respect the rights of the citizens and the self-governing communities, and to be faithful to the king. Leonor took this oath on the day she turned 18. On that same day, her father gave her the collar of the Order of Charles III, the highest civil honor in Spain. Earlier, on the 30th of January 2018, when she was 12, he had already given her the Order of the Golden Fleece, one of the oldest orders of chivalry in the world. The heir also has a duty of readiness. If the king dies or cannot rule, and the heir is underage, a regency must be set up. Because of this, the Spanish royal household has always been careful to prepare Leonor early. When Felipe was heir, he was sent to the three military academies of the army, the navy and the air force. He was expected to become a symbol of the armed forces because the king is their supreme commander. The same path was chosen for Leonor. In August 2023, she entered the General Military Academy in Zaragoza. On the 7th of October 2023, she swore loyalty to the flag in a ceremony in Zaragoza, watched by her parents. In the following year, she moved to the Naval Military School at Marin in Galicia. In January 2025, she sailed as a midshipman aboard the training ship Juan Sebastián de Elcano on a voyage across the Atlantic and along the coasts of Latin America, arriving in New York in the summer of 2025. After that, she began her third stage at the General Air and Space Academy at San Javier in Murcia. Only after this 3-year military course was she expected to go to university. Beyond the law, there are expectations that no article can list. Spain is a country of many regions and several languages. The heir is expected to speak to all of them. Leonor was taught Catalan, Galician, Basque, English, and some Arabic and Chinese in her school years. When she gives a speech in Girona, she is expected to speak in Catalan. When she is in Galicia, she is expected to say at least a few words in Galician. She is expected to be the face of the awards that carry her name, the Princess of Asturias Awards in Oviedo and the Princess of Girona Awards. She is expected to visit the regions, to appear at the National Day Parade on the 12th of October each year, and to stand beside her father in moments of crisis. Above all, she is expected to be, as many Spanish commentators put it, the future of the institution, because the reputation of the monarchy suffered during the last years of Juan Carlos. The household has placed a great deal of hope on Leonor. In the words often repeated by the Spanish press, she is expected to be serious, prepared, discreet, and never the subject of scandal. The British system is different. There is no written constitution and no oath that a child heir must swear at a set age. The duties of George and Charlotte are set by custom, by their family, and by what the public comes to expect. George is expected to become Prince of Wales when his father becomes king, and to become king himself in his turn. He is expected to be a working royal, to carry out public engagements, to be a symbol of continuity, and to marry and continue the line. He will one day be Duke of Cornwall and will inherit the great estate that comes with that title. He is expected to serve in the armed forces as his father, grandfather, and great-grandfather did. None of this is written into law. All of it is understood. Charlotte's future is less certain, and for that reason more talked about. As the sister of a future king, she is expected to be one of the small group of senior working royals. Many British commentators compare her future to that of her great-aunt Anne, the Princess Royal, who is famous for carrying out more engagements each year than almost any other member of the family. It is often noted that if Charlotte were ever to be the eldest daughter of a reigning monarch, and if the title were free, she could one day be Princess Royal herself. That could only happen after her father becomes king and after the current holder of the title has died. Whether Charlotte chooses public life or a quieter life is a question that will not be answered for many years. What is expected of both children right now is far simpler. They are expected to attend the great ceremonial events of the year, to appear on the balcony of Buckingham Palace at Trooping the Colour, to walk with their family to church at Sandringham on Christmas Day, and to be present at funerals, weddings, and coronations. Beyond that, their parents have made a clear and public choice. William and Catherine have said, in words and in actions, that they want their children to have as normal a childhood as a royal child can have. There is an agreement with most of the British press not to photograph the children in private, at school, or on holiday. Official photographs are released on birthdays, usually taken by Catherine herself. When the children appear, it is on the family's terms. This is the great contrast with Spain. In Madrid, Leonor was placed on a public path early and deliberately, with speeches, oaths, and military training. In London, George and Charlotte have been kept back, shown to the public in carefully chosen moments, and allowed to grow up largely out of sight. The public first heard Leonor speak in a formal setting on the 31st of October 2018, her 13th birthday. The occasion was the 40th anniversary of the Spanish Constitution. In the royal palace in Madrid, with her parents and her sister at her side, she read the first article of the Constitution aloud. Her voice was steady and clear. Spanish television replayed the moment for days. Many viewers remarked that she did not look at her parents for reassurance and that she read the difficult legal words without a stumble. This first appearance set the tone for everything that followed. Spain had seen a serious child. On the 18th of October 2019, she gave her first full speech at the Princess of Asturias Awards in the Campomar Theatre in Oviedo. She was 13. She thanked the winners, spoke about Asturias, and ended with a line in the Asturian language. Newspapers noted that she spoke for around 3 minutes and that her father watched her closely. Observers said that she seemed calmer than her father had been at the same awards when he was young. A few weeks later, on the 4th of November 2019, she spoke at the Princess of Girona Awards in Barcelona, and part of her speech was in Catalan. In a region where the monarchy is often unpopular, this was noted with both praise and criticism. Some Catalan commentators said her accent was careful and correct. Others said that no speech would change their view of the crown. The year 2020 was the year of the pandemic. On the 16th of October 2020, the awards were held in a small room in the Hotel de la Reconquista in Oviedo, with masks and distance. Leonor and Sofia both spoke. Viewers commented on how tall the sisters had grown and how similar Leonor's dress and hairstyle were to her mother's. This is a theme that returns again and again. Spanish fashion writers follow every outfit. When Leonor wears a certain brand, it often sells out within days. The press has called this the Leonor effect, in the same way that they once spoke of a Letizia effect. On the 24th of March 2021, Leonor carried out her first solo engagement. She was 15. She visited the Cervantes Institute in Madrid for its 30th anniversary and gave a short speech in front of an audience of writers and diplomats. She then placed a copy of the Constitution and a copy of Don Quixote in the Institute's vault, called the Box of Letters. Reporters said she seemed nervous at the start and confident by the end. It was the first time she had appeared without her parents beside her. In September 2021, she left Spain to study for 2 years at United World College of the Atlantic in Wales, a boarding school in a castle by the sea. The choice was noted in both Spain and Britain. Some Spanish critics asked why the future queen was not studying in Spain. The household answered that international experience was part of her preparation. During those 2 years, her public appearances were rare and mostly limited to the awards ceremonies in October, at which she now returned looking a little older each time. On the 28th of October 2022, at the awards in Oviedo, she was 17. Viewers noticed a longer, more mature speech and a new confidence in the way she moved on stage. 2023 was her most important year. On the 7th of October, she swore loyalty to the flag at the Academy in Zaragoza, wearing the uniform of a cadet, with her hair pulled back and her mother watching from the stands. Photographs showed her kissing the flag. Spanish commentators wrote that she looked like any other cadet, which was exactly what the household wanted. On the 12th of October 2023, she stood beside her father at the National Day Parade in Madrid, in uniform for the first time. Then on the 31st of October came the oath before Parliament. She wore a white suit, she read the oath, signed the record, and stepped out onto the balcony of the palace to wave to the crowd. Afterwards, there was a ceremony at the royal palace and a reception with more than 1,000 guests. Nearly every Spanish paper called it the beginning of a new era. Watchers noted that she thanked the deputies with a slight bow, that she smiled more than in past appearances, and that for the first time, she gave the impression of a young woman rather than a girl. Her grandfather Juan Carlos was not present, and this too was widely discussed. In 2024, she moved to the Naval School at Marin. Photographs showed her in the white uniform of the Spanish Navy. On the 25th of October 2024, at the awards in Oviedo, she gave a speech that many described as her most personal, speaking of what her year in the army had taught her. Late in the year, terrible floods struck the Valencia region, and her parents were confronted by angry crowds during a visit to the town of Paiporta on the 3rd of November 2024. Leonor was not present, but Spanish commentators wrote at length about how the next generation of the crown would need to handle such moments. In 2025, she was at sea. The Elcano left Cadiz in January. Over the following months, she was photographed in ports along the coast of South and Central America, and finally in New York. Spanish and Latin American media followed the voyage closely. Observers noted that she looked sunburned, thinner, and in the words of one report, happy in a way that ceremonies never show. By the autumn of that year, she had returned to Spain, appeared again at the Oviedo Awards, and moved on to the Air Force Academy at San Javier. Late 2025 and the first half of 2026 was spent there, with public appearances limited to the major dates of the royal calendar. Any events after January 2026 should be checked against current sources before the script is recorded. Across all of these years, certain observations repeat. Leonor is described as calm, serious, and controlled in public. She rarely improvises. She reads her speeches with care. Her posture, her handshakes, and her way of standing beside her father are compared favorably to those of her mother. Her sister Sofia is usually described as more relaxed and quicker to laugh, and the two are often photographed whispering to each other. Critics of the monarchy say that Leonor is a carefully managed product, and that the public sees only what the household chooses to show. Supporters say that this discipline is exactly what a future head of state should have. The public first saw George on the steps of the Lindo wing at St. Mary's Hospital on the 23rd of July 2013, wrapped in a white blanket in his mother's arms. Charlotte was shown in the same place on the 2nd of May 2015, only hours after her birth. These hospital steps have become a British royal tradition, and both moments were watched live around the world. George's first official trip came when he was 8 months old. In April 2014, his parents took him on a tour of New Zealand and Australia. Photographs of him at a playgroup in Wellington, grabbing toys from other babies, made front pages. In Sydney, he was photographed at the zoo, showing little interest in a bilby that had been named after him. Commentators called him the Republican Slayer, meaning that the sight of the baby prince had softened public feeling towards the monarchy in Australia. It was said, half in jest, that he had done more for the crown in 2 weeks than many adults had done in years. Charlotte's first great public moment came on the 11th of June 2016, when she was 1 year old and appeared on the balcony of Buckingham Palace at Trooping the Colour, held up by her mother in a pink dress. George, then almost 3, wore a blue outfit that was noticed because it was the same design worn by his father William at the same event in 1984. This detail, the copying of William's childhood clothes, was to become a pattern. In September 2017, George started school at Thomas's Battersea in London. Photographs showed him holding his father's hand, looking anxious. Charlotte started nursery in January 2018. From this point onward, the family's rules for the press became strict. There were no pictures of the children arriving at school on ordinary days. There were birthday portraits and Christmas cards, and very little else. The wedding of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle on the 19th of May 2018 gave the public one of its clearest early looks at both children. George was a page boy and Charlotte a bridesmaid. Charlotte, aged 3, was photographed on the steps of St. George's Chapel, waving at the crowd and sticking out her tongue at photographers, a moment that was replayed endlessly. George hid behind his father's legs. Commentators began to describe a difference in temperament that has stayed in the public mind ever since. Charlotte was seen as bold and outgoing. George was seen as shy and serious. The pandemic years kept the children mostly out of sight, though there was one moment that broke through. In April 2020, all 3 children appeared in a short video clapping for health workers outside their home. In April 2021, to mark the 10th anniversary of their parents' wedding, a family video was released showing the children running on the beach and climbing trees in Norfolk. Then came the summer of 2021. On the 11th of July, George attended the final of the European Football Championship at Wembley with his parents. He was 7. He wore a dark suit and a striped tie, and he was filmed cheering wildly when England scored, then sitting with his head in his hands when they lost. Social media filled with comments about the small boy in a suit at a football match. Some praised his formal look, others said he should have been allowed to wear a football shirt like other children. His father was later asked about this and said that George had wanted to dress like his dad. This match, and the pictures of a boy learning to lose in public, became one of the most shared royal images of the year. 2022 was the year both children stepped into full view. On the 2nd of June, at Trooping the Colour for the Platinum Jubilee, George, Charlotte and Louis rode in a carriage with their mother, then stood on the balcony. Louis, aged 4, was filmed covering his ears and shouting during the flypast. Charlotte was seen pulling his hand down and gently telling him to stop. Viewers described her as the little sergeant major and noted that she seemed to be in charge of her brothers. On the 5th of June at the Jubilee pageant, Louis again stole the show by pulling faces at his mother, while George and Charlotte sat quietly. Reporters wrote that George looked stiff and Charlotte looked amused. On the 10th of July 2022, George attended the men's final at Wimbledon in a suit and tie in very hot weather. Once again, comment was divided between those who found the suit charming and those who found it strange for a child in the heat. On the 8th of September 2022, the Queen died. 11 days later, on the 19th of September, George and Charlotte walked behind her coffin in Westminster Abbey and later at St. George's Chapel in Windsor. They walked between their parents. Charlotte's hat carried a horseshoe brooch given to her by the Queen. George kept his eyes down. Charlotte was seen at one point looking up at her brother and, according to lip readers, telling him, "You need to bow," as the coffin passed. Louis, aged 4, did not attend. The decision to include 2 children under 10 in the world's most watched funeral was discussed for days. Some found it moving. Others thought it was too much to ask of children who had just lost their great-grandmother. William and Catherine said only that the children had wanted to be there. In the days that followed, the children were seen at Windsor looking at flowers and reading cards left by the public. On the 6th of May 2023, at the coronation of King Charles III, George served as one of 4 pages of honor, carrying part of the king's robe as he entered Westminster Abbey. He wore a red and gold uniform. He was 9, the youngest future king ever to take a formal role at a coronation. Charlotte, aged 8, wore a white dress and cape and a silver headpiece of leaves and flowers that matched her mother's. Louis, aged 5, yawned and pointed and left the abbey partway through, then returned. On the balcony afterwards, Charlotte was again seen quietly guiding Louis. Nearly every review of the day mentioned George's stillness under pressure. It was the first time the public saw him carry out a job rather than simply attend an event. In the summer of 2023, on the 16th of July, George and Charlotte both attended the Wimbledon men's final with their parents. Charlotte, in a blue dress, was making her first appearance at the tournament. She was filmed with her hands over her face during tense points and standing to applaud at the end. Both children were introduced to the players. In 2023, George also began at Lambrook School in Berkshire, near the family's new home at Windsor, and Charlotte and Louis joined him there. 2024 was a hard year for the family. Catherine announced in March that she was being treated for cancer. For several months, the children were almost entirely out of public view. On the 15th of June 2024, Catherine returned to public life at Trooping the Colour, and the 3 children rode with her in the carriage. Charlotte was seen holding her mother's arm on the balcony. Observers said the children looked protective, and the images were among the most widely shared of the year. On the 14th of July 2024, George travelled to Berlin with his father to watch England lose the final of the European Championship to Spain. He was 11, and again in a suit and tie. On the same day, Charlotte accompanied her mother to the Wimbledon men's final, where the crowd gave Catherine a standing ovation. Charlotte, in a blue dress, was filmed watching her mother, then watching the match, and finally being introduced to the players. That both children were given separate public duties on the same day, one with each parent, was noted by nearly every royal writer as a sign that they were being slowly introduced to the idea of splitting the work. In 2025, the children continued to appear at the fixed points of the royal year. There was Trooping the Color in June, where George, now nearly 12 and taller than his mother's shoulder, was seen for the first time standing rather than sitting for much of the balcony appearance. There was the Christmas walk at Sandringham. There were reports about which school George would attend after Lambrook, and long articles about the traditions he might follow or break. There were also the first signs of a boy becoming a teenager, a change of height, a longer hairstyle, and a habit of standing with his hands behind his back in exactly the way his father does. As with Leonor, any appearances after January 2026 should be checked before recording. When the observations are gathered together, patterns appear. People who watch George most often use the word serious. He is described as reserved, careful, and very like his father in look and manner. The habit of dressing him in a suit and tie from the age of 7 has been read by many as a sign of the future that waits for him. Some writers have said with sympathy that he already carries the weight of the crown in his face. Others have said this is unfair and that a shy child should not be read as a sad one. In recent appearances, he has been described as more relaxed, smiling more, and increasingly at ease with crowds. People who watch Charlotte most often use the words confident and in charge, from the wave on the chapel steps in 2018 to the hand on Louis at the Jubilee to the whispered instruction at the Queen's funeral. She has been seen as the child who understands the rules and makes sure they are kept. She is often said to look like the young Queen Elizabeth, and photographs are placed side by side to prove it. Fashion writers note that her clothes are almost always simple, in blue or white or pale colors, and that they are often bought again by ordinary parents within hours. People who watch Leonor most often use the words prepared and poised because she is older and because Spain has placed her at the center of the crown's future. The observations are more detailed. Her speeches are analyzed line by line. Her language skills are tested by regional press. Her uniform, her hair, her shoes, and her handshakes are discussed by fashion writers and by political writers alike. She is compared constantly to her mother and increasingly to her father at the same age. Critics on the political left describe her as the polished face of an institution they do not want. Supporters describe her as the best hope of that institution. Almost everyone agrees that she has never made a visible mistake in public, and some say that this in itself is a kind of pressure that no child should carry. The deepest difference between Leonor and the children of Wales is not one of character. It is one of design. Spain built its modern monarchy in 1978 on paper after 40 years of dictatorship. Everything about the crown is written down, including the age at which the heir must swear the oath. The Spanish state has a plan for its heir, and Leonor has followed it. Constitution reading at 13, first speech at 13, first solo act at 15, oath at 18, 3 years in the armed forces, then university. Spain expects to see its future queen at work in public from an early age because the monarchy there needs to prove itself. Britain's monarchy is more than 1,000 years old and has almost no written rules for the young. George and Charlotte have been shown to the world at the great ceremonies and then taken back home. Their parents have said openly that childhood comes first and duty later. The British public on the whole has accepted this, partly because the memory of Diana and of what constant public attention did to William and Harry still shapes how the family behaves. Yet the two paths may meet in the end. When George is 18 in the summer of 2031, he will very likely be expected to take on more, and the questions Spain has already answered about Leonor will be asked in Britain. When Leonor is a queen, the discipline Spain demanded of her as a teenager will either be seen as the reason for her success or as the reason for her distance. Charlotte, meanwhile, holds a position that neither Leonor nor George shares. She is close to the throne but not on the path to it, and she has more freedom than either to decide what her life will be. 3 children, 3 crowns in the future, or 2 crowns and 1 choice. What the public has seen so far, on the 19th of September, on the 6th of May, on the 31st of October, and on all the other dates in this story, is only the beginning of the record. The rest of it will be written in front of the cameras, year after year, whether the children wish it or not.